Thank you for tuning into podcast number 37 of Sports Talk with JWock. I'm your host, JWock, and today we are going to be updating the power rankings for the NBA since we are 1/4 of the way through the NBA season. So if you want to see how these power rankings go, in my opinion, make sure to stay tuned. Once again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sports Talk with JWock, and thank you guys for listening to me every single time, coming in and just taking a couple minutes out of your day to listen to me and just kind of my rants on sports and just my opinions on everything. So let's get right into the topic of today, which we are going to be talking about the power rankings 1/4 of the way through the season. I know it's not like exactly 1/4 of the way through the season. I think we're a little over now, but either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to say it's the 1/4 because we're basically there for the NBA season. So first, I'm going to put up right now the previous power rankings, and I'll read them out real quick. Previously, the Celtics I ranked number 1, the Thunder number 2, Nuggets number 3, Knicks number 4, Mavericks number 5, Bucks 6, 76ers 7, Timberwolves 8, Kings 9, and Cavaliers 10. So those were my previous rankings. Those were the preseason rankings. If you want to check out that video, you can check out my channel, and then you should be able to see it. You might have to scroll down a little bit, but it should be there. But now I'm going to give my new power rankings, and I'm going to put them up real quick. So at number 1, I have the Boston Celtics. Number 2, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 3, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 5, I have the Denver Nuggets. Number 6, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 7, the Dallas Mavericks. Number 8, the New York Knicks. Number 9, the Houston Rockets. And number 10, the Phoenix Suns. Okay, so first, let's kind of go from 10 all the way up. And then I will also mention where they were previously ranked and kind of their current record right now and their standings currently in their conference. So at number 10, I have the Phoenix Suns. They're sitting with a record of 14-11, and they are 6th in the Western Conference, and they were previously unranked. So the Phoenix Suns are one of those interesting teams, one of those teams where it's like they have a ton of talent. It's just more the question is how well can this team come together, and can they make it far come playoff time? And it seems like they're starting to figure it out a little bit. It seems like they're kind of coming back to health. Kevin Durant's come back recently healthy. The biggest concern to me is how Devin Booker has been kind of underperforming, in my opinion. But in my opinion, at number 10, it's this could really go to almost anybody at this point in the NBA, except really any bottom half team, obviously. But the Phoenix Suns are a decent team. I think they're going to be a solid team in the playoffs. I think maybe a 5, 6 seed, maybe even lower. Maybe a play-in team, to be brutally honest. But the Phoenix Suns are at number 10. That's all I really have to say about them. They don't have anything too flashy going for them or anything. So, yeah, that's the number 10 Phoenix Suns. At number 9, I ranked the Houston Rockets. They have a record of 17-9. They are 3rd in the Western Conference, and they were also previously unranked. The Houston Rockets, some people may say, why are they so low? They're 3rd in the Western Conference. They look good. There's a lot of question marks with this Rockets team. I know a lot of people are saying, don't trade the young core. Don't trade the young core. Let them develop, and let's see what they can do, because they are already doing well at 3rd in the West. This is kind of like the Thunder a couple years ago. When they were young, they have an up-and-coming team, but there's still a lot of question marks to be done, a lot of question marks to be answered, and just not a lot of answers yet. Jalen Green is probably one of their best players, or I guess you could say scorers on the team, but he's also really bad with the plus-minus and stuff, so he could be a liability come the playoff time. So who knows how he's going to perform? Alperen Şengün's been phenomenal, but, like I said earlier, who knows how they can perform in the playoffs if it comes down to it. Obviously, they still have to make the playoffs. I think they will, but, there's still a lot of question marks with this Rockets team. That's why I rank them at number 9. Let's move on, though. Let's go to the number 8 New York Knicks. They are sitting at a record of 16-10. They are 3rd in the East, and they were previously ranked 4th. So they have dropped 4 spots. And the reason being, it just feels like this Knicks team, I know they're like starting to click now, but it just feels like they have a lot of question marks. It feels like Mikal Bridges has been underperforming for them. And this team just doesn't look like they're clicking very well. It just feels like Karl Anthony Towns has been great. Brunson's been great. Anunoby's honestly been pretty solid, but it just feels like the teams above them are just better right now. It just seems like they would beat them in a 7-game series. The teams above would beat the Knicks in a 7-game series. I don't know. Like, the Knicks have a good coach in Tom Thibodeau. I think they're going to turn it around. I think the biggest thing is maybe adding a little more depth. I know they have some solid depth pieces in Miles McBride. They also have Precious Achiuwa. I feel like I'm missing out on someone. Cameron Payne. I'm definitely missing out on someone. But anyways, Tom Thibodeau doesn't like to play his bench players. I feel like he probably should a little more if they can add some depth. But yeah, that's the number 8 Knicks, and that's my thoughts on the Knicks. Number 7, I have ranked the Dallas Mavericks. They are sitting at a record of 17-9. They are 4th in the West, and they were previously 5, so they dropped 2 spots as well. This team dropped as well. I know the Mavericks haven't been bad. Like, there's nothing that's been bad. I just feel like there's teams above them that are just better. And I know, like, maybe based off of their standings, you could put them at, like, a certain ranking or something and rank them above because of their record. But I don't really want to do that. I feel like that's kind of stupid. I feel like there's going to be teams come playoff time that are just going to perform and that have performed in the past that I think are just going to beat them. And a lot of these teams that are maybe lower are just, maybe they just have a lot of question marks, like I said earlier. So the Mavericks are just one of those teams. I know they made the finals. They are performing pretty solidly right now. Luka's finally coming back to health, it looks like. This Mavericks team just looks like it's missing a piece. I know they added Clay in the offseason. He's been okay at best, in my opinion, for them. I feel like they could use another piece come the trade deadline, so that's something to look out for the Mavericks. But yeah, that's all I got to really say about the Mavericks. They're sitting at number 7. Some of you may disagree, but once again, this is my opinion. If you want to, argue with me about it, put it down below in the comments and let me know, and I will happily discuss this over with you. At number 6, I have the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning in-season tournament champions. Congratulations to them. I just wanted to put that out there. They are sitting at a record of 14-11. They are 5th in the East, and they were previously 6th, so they went nowhere in the power rankings, according to me. I feel like this team's going to definitely climb up the standings at some point. Just as of now, their record is not great, and I know I said earlier the record doesn't mean much, but it felt like the beginning of the season, the Bucks were really struggling defensively. It seems like they're coming, they're making a comeback. It looks like they're playing a lot better. Chris Middleton's starting to come back to health. Giannis is looking like an MVP. Damian Lillard's playing very well. Like, this Bucks team's starting to come together. I do think they need to make some trades, though, still. I still believe they need to maybe move on from one of their bigger name players. I know Bobby Portis has been popping up in a lot of trade rumors. They need to make, like, another flashy move, in my opinion, with, obviously, with the financial situation they're in. That might be difficult, but I think they can definitely try to make a move and get some more, like, depth pieces, in my opinion, because I know you could trade Bobby Portis, who's a great depth piece, but you could maybe trade him to get, like, 2 good depth pieces, if you know what I mean, and maybe some draft capital in return. Who knows? But yeah, that's the number 6 Milwaukee Bucks. At number 5, I have the Denver Nuggets, and they have a record of 14-10. They are 5th in the West, and they were previously 3rd, so they have dropped 2. The biggest thing with the Nuggets, in my opinion, I've watched a lot of Nuggets games, and I will admit, first off, before I go on more about the Nuggets, I really haven't watched all these teams, like, multiple times where it's like I know everything about them. But, like, the Nuggets, I have watched a decent amount of times because my family likes the Nuggets. But the Nuggets, the biggest issue with them, it feels like, is Jamal Murray has not been performing to the way he needs to be. And it feels like Aaron Gordon was injured majority of the season. He's coming back, which is good. But it feels like Michael Porter Jr. has been their bigger disappointment. I know he's been having, like, a career year technically, but it just feels like he's just not really performing to the way they need him to be that, like, true third scoring option and just to help them, put them over the edge. And we've heard a lot of talks about how the Nuggets are looking to actually move on from Michael Porter Jr. if they make a big splash in a trade, whether that's for like a Zach LaVine or a Brandon Ingram. So I'm curious to see how the Nuggets are going to turn this around. It seems like Westbrook's been a phenomenal fit for them. He's playing very well with them. I think they need a couple more depth pieces, some more shooting, in my opinion, just some sharpshooters. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think they need to probably also trade for a better backup center. I think DeAndre Jordan is great, but he's not going to be great for the rest of the season if he's having to play meaningful minutes. So let me know what you guys think. But yeah, that is the Nuggets at number 5. At number 4, we have the Memphis Grizzlies sitting at a record of 18-9 currently. They are second in the West, and were previously unranked. And by the way, when I mention their records right now, this is as of Thursday, December 19th. So that is their record as of now. But yes, the Grizzlies have been a great team. I knew they were going to be a good team. I didn't rank them before because I knew there was going to be a lot of injury concerns, especially since they had like literally almost their whole team injured last season. They've been playing good. Ja Morant's finally coming back to health. Hopefully he can stay healthy throughout the season. Desmond Bane's back. This team's just playing good. I mean, they're second in the West. It shows. I mean, they have a really deep team. They're going to have to make some moves in the trade deadline, in my opinion, if they want to maybe become a championship contender. But they have the depth pieces. They have the draft capital. Go and make a move. Go and get a star and go get yourself a championship, Memphis. But yeah, that's the number 4 Memphis Grizzlies for me. At number 3, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. This may surprise a lot of people. They are sitting at a record of 23-4. They are first in the East, and they were previously 10th. So they actually jumped up 7 spots. They are playing tremendous basketball right now. They look good, but I'm not going to lie. I don't see them being the team that comes out of the Eastern Conference, which I will mention the other team here soon. And you already saw in the rankings what I put them as. But, yeah, I mean, this Cleveland Cavaliers team, they look good. I have really no complaints about them. They have good depth, good starting lineup, but I just think these other 2 teams are better than them. And let's get to those 2 teams. So at number 2, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're sitting at a record of 20-5. They're first in the West, and they were previously second, so they've stayed the same. This Thunder team is good. Hartenstein's coming back to health. Unfortunately, Chet Holmgren's been out for multiple weeks due to a, I believe, wing injury, which I'm not 100% sure what that even is. But anyways, I'm not a medical person. I'm just here talking to you about sports, so that's what I'm going to do. The Thunder look good. I mean, they look good. They've got a great starting lineup, even without Chet Holmgren. And then they've got great depth. Obviously, they didn't look great against the Bucks in the in-season tournament championship, but let's be real, they're not going to shoot that bad every single game. And when Chet Holmgren comes back, they're going to look dominant. So that's just my thoughts on the Thunder. I think they are definitely favorites to win the championship, or some of the maybe co-favorites. And the first team that could be the other co-favorite to win the championship is the Boston Celtics. They are sitting at a record of 21-5. They are second in the East, and they were previously ranked first on my power ranking, so they stayed the same as well. The Boston Celtics look just as good as last year. They have made basically 0 changes to their team since last season, but they still look dominant. This team, I don't know what to say. This Boston team just looks good. I don't think any team in the East is going to be able to catch up to them as of now, come to playoff time if they're healthy. So let me know what you guys think of my new 1/4 of the way through the season power rankings. Is it good? Is it bad? Is there any changes? Is there a team maybe I didn't mention that should be on this list? But let me know what you guys think down below, and let me know who you think are going to be the championship favorites come the playoff time for you guys. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. This was podcast number 37 of Sports Talk with JWock. We are getting very close to podcast number 40. And before we go, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support. I am now at 44 subscribers. If we can, let's get to 45 before the end of 2024. Let's get to 45 subscribers. That's just one more person, one more of you. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free. Just hit that red button down below. Hit the like button, as we have also gotten over 1,000 views on the channel. I know this is a little late, But thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to keep on doing this podcast and sharing some good news with you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast. Check me out on Instagram. It's at sportstalkwith_JWock3. You could also check me out on TikToks. It's at sportstalkwithJWock. You can also check me out on Facebook at JWock. And then, once again, I hope you all have an amazing week. God bless.